What's up? What's up, you guys? It is Tuesday. It is my favorite day out the week because I'm off. And also, I get to do this amazing podcast. I'm super excited to share with you all. You all have been supporting me amazingly. And again, I want to say thank you. For those of you who are listening to this for the first time, I am your host, Thaddeus Sims. I remember it this time. And I also would like to give a nice, good little shout out to the listeners in Switzerland and in United Kingdom. I was looking at the stats and I noticed there's some people out there listening, and I wanted to give you guys a shout out. Thank you for supporting. I appreciate it. I actually hope to visit Switzerland and the UK at some point in my journey. So I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. You're awesome. Now, before we really go into this, we always know that I have to share my fun fact with you all. This one, I got super excited when I read this. I don't think I'm going to embarrass myself and share how excited I got, but I might. But this fun fact is rats and mice are ticklish and even laugh when tickled. The part that really got me was you can also tickle a penguin. Now, I'm going to do my best to contain myself, but I love penguins. They just look, I don't know, they look fun. I mean, I would get a penguin, but they would die over here in Florida. But the thought of actually tickling a penguin and just hearing like the little funny noise they make, I don't know. But it just got me super excited that I feel as though that before I leave this earth, one of my life missions is to tickle a penguin. Just by knowing this now, this fact, I need to do this for myself. You may judge me, but it's okay. I'm going to be the one enjoying tickling that penguin, and I'm going to name it something. I don't know, but I got excited off of that. So we're going to just, skip past that. So for this episode, the name of this episode will be The Secret Factor When Connecting with People. Now, what is the secret factor? You are the secret factor. You attract the people that are just like you, and you repel those who aren't. Now, I'm sure we've heard that before. Oh, yeah, that we heard that. You attract people just like you. Yeah. We hear that so often. But, I feel like it just goes over a lot of people's heads. Like, yeah, you hear that. You may put a minute or two in there, and the next thing you know, you get a notification on your phone, and, that was that. But let's actually dive into this secret factor of yours, and you will discover how much power that you have when connecting with people. So here's how. Now, the first part I'm going to go over is your attitude. But we've heard this before, Thaddeus. We hear this all the time. Your attitude. If you have a positive attitude, things will just go well. And if you have a negative attitude, you just suck. We get it. No, it goes much deeper than that. So here we go. Positive attitude. You can have a positive attitude and stuff still just can be like crappy around you. It's a matter of how you look at it. It's the lens in which you look at the world. Now, in regards to connecting with people, you may be going through things, for example, car stuff, family things, relationship stuff, money stuff. But it's your attitude on, how you go about it. So when you have, let's just give you some real life examples. When you have, we've all been there before when we have like some type of car problem. And if not, let's go with the tech problem, our phone. If our phone starts acting up, we may just get annoyed and we may just say all types of negative stuff. Man, this phone's stupid. Man, this, that, and the other. It sucks. I hate this service that I have, Sprint. It's a lot of things. But when you're around people and they know that you just get very negative when little stuff happens, they naturally just don't kind of want to be around you. Now, you have some people who are negative on that vibe too, and they just love it. I know some people who just hate life. But yeah. Now, to go about this is having a positive attitude. There's something different. So for me, I'm going to tell y'all, one of the things that goes through with my phone is that 1 minute that I leave like my job and I'm on the phone with my sister, it's as if I don't have service or internet, which is stupid to me. I don't get it. But it's like, you know what? Hey, I just know if I just, turn the phone off, turn it back on or whatever, or if I go to the app store, whatever, it can get fixed. It can get resolved. Hey, I have a new phone. My screen works. I'm okay. This is minor. It's whatever. It's not going to affect my day. Now, when you're around people who notice like how you are when you handle situations and they're like, wow, he's a positive person. I need to get around him more. A lot of people will just naturally be attracted to your positive attitude. Now, this isn't to say that you're not going to go through crap, because you do. Hell, the people who have a positive attitude most of the time be going through the most crap, but you never know, because our attitudes is just super positive, and we're just like, you know what? I know it's going to work out. For me, all of my friends can tell you if I'm going through something, I don't say I have a problem. I may say that to relate to a person because they're not on that wave yet. But all of my close friends know that I'll say, oh, this is a little challenge that I have, because it's a matter of changing your words up too. When it comes to a positive and a negative attitude, it's all about your words as well. Like, does this suck? Or is this just like, you know what? It's an opportunity for me to grow. It's different word plays with that. And you'll notice that when you have different word plays with different things, they change the way you come at it. You'll notice it's a slight difference. I don't know if you experience this, but when I use certain words that are negative, I feel as though like something just kind of sunk deep inside of me. But when I use something like positive, I notice that there's like a rise, like I'm excited. Okay, let's knock this out. Oh, this happened. Okay, boom. This is opportunity for me to get creative or figure it out, or blah, blah, blah. And if it does happen, I just know, okay, so this is happening for a reason. I'm either going to meet someone or there's something I need to be aware of that I don't know. And it's okay. I'll just go through it. Now, to give y'all something that's serious, so you can see what I mean, and I'm not just saying this, this happened a few years ago. I remember it perfectly. I was either driving, I think I was driving with my cousin, and we came out of Publix, and I think my light was out. And as soon as I pull out of Publix, tell me how there's a cop that comes over. So the cop comes and whatnot. He pulls me over, and I'm like, oh, okay, probably my light is whatever. Hopefully I don't get a ticket. And he said, do you know your license is suspended? And I say, what? He was like, yeah, your license is suspended. You didn't know that? I'm like, no, I did not know that at all. Legit, I really didn't know. He was like, oh, wow. Okay, well, he gave me a ticket, I think, but it wasn't like a lot or something, or I don't know. It was like maybe 200. I'm not sure. But he basically told me, hey, you can't, you can't drive. So you're going to have to get someone to come pick you up, and someone, to take the car. And I'm like, it is 11 or something like that at night. At the time, my friends didn't have cars like that. And I was not going to wake my mom up to come pick me up and for someone else to come drive. And I think my little brother was like asleep. So it was just like, yeah, we're not going to do this. So he leaves, but we're by Lake Park area, close to my home. And I was just like, yeah, he left. Okay, we're going to wait. We're going to wait a few minutes. And I drove back home. I'm just like, dude, I can't. But luckily, I was literally like 6 minutes away from home. So I was like driving like perfectly. I was driving through neighborhoods. So, I didn't get seen on main roads and whatever. I got there. Now, what's this? Okay, this may not be a big deal, right? But I am very happy that he actually pulled me over and told me my license was suspended, because I believe that next week, the week after that, I had a trip to go to North Carolina, and I was going to be driving to North Carolina. So you can imagine if I drove and God forbid something happened and I got pulled over and I was driving a car whose name I wasn't on one. And then, I have a suspended license and this is out of the state of Florida. Oh, no. I was so grateful to that cop. He does not know. I was like, I am so glad that I got pulled over. So it was just like my positive attitude with it. Like I could have got pissed. I could have been angry. But looking at it, it was just like, wow, I'm very glad I did. So it's just a matter of how you look at things. And then now with the negative attitude, what I've come to notice now, just something for you guys to be aware, is when you have a negative attitude, it's as if like you just attract so much negative stuff to you back to back to back. And it's just like, it just changes you. It just makes you like into a negative person. And you'll find like some people who say, oh, they're not negative. You'll find like when you hear how they speak, they are in fact negative. Like how the words they use, like, oh man, that's just horrible. Or you suck. Or man, I suck. Or man, every time I go here, man, this always happens. Like, all this or that. You can just hear it's just draining. So bringing this back to connecting with people again is that people are naturally attracted to those who are positive. People will want to be around you more because you have a positive attitude. They'll want to know, how do you have a positive attitude despite all the craziness that's happening in the world? And then vice versa, you have a negative attitude. You repel those people who are positive and they don't want to have nothing to do with you. They want to limit their time from you. And also you'll attract more negative people too. But that's that. That's one factor with yourself. Another is your income. Surprisingly enough, I'm sure you've heard this before, but they say you have about the same amount of income as your 5 best friends, those you associate with as well. So in that regards to connecting with people, you'll find that some people usually are around those people who are in their same income bracket. And that's not a bad thing. It's just something to be aware of you when you're connecting with people. I've noticed that people who know that others have a much higher income bracket than them, there's this type of blockage they have. It's like, oh, this person makes a lot of money than me, more money than me. I don't want to be you know what I mean? It's like this inferiority I've noticed that people have with that. But they meet someone who's, I don't know, works, at a fast food or for me, a restaurant or things like that. They make about the same amount and they're comfortable with that. And you can change that by getting around those people who do have a higher income bracket than you. And you'll notice that the more you associate with them, you'll notice that even your income bracket will change and rise because of your association. There's a reason why they have that. And if you get around them and, they pour into you and stuff like that, your income bracket will rise too. So that factor, again, with connecting with people is who you associate with, and income bracket does play a factor. Just kind of look around those people that you hang around with the most and see if you guys make about the same. So that was another part that I've noticed when it comes to just you being the secret factor in those you connect with. And one of those aspects is your income bracket. Just pay attention to that. Another thing is your mindset. And mindset is very important. And just to give you a few examples with that, I know that the people that I associate with is one of the common threads that we have with our mindset. Though we all have different personalities, we all are inspired and motivated by different things. One of the things I notice with the people I associate with the most, our mindset is when we want something done, we will make a way to get it. We may get pissed off. We may have to go through some annoying stuff. We may have to learn patience, whatever it is, but we want it. We're going to get it some way, somehow. And you can't tell us, any differently, especially if we know, okay, we need this and it's good for us. You can't tell us that. And even if, even some of my friends are like, you sure you want that? They'll get defensive. Like, yeah, I want this. I'm going to get it. They may hear me and they'll be like, yeah, I'm still going to get it, And that's the mindset that I've noticed. I'm around those people who are just like go-getters and they just won't, stop, until they get something. Another example with certain people and their mindset is on the opposite end. I try to do, positive end and then the negative end or whatever, different ends. Is I know certain people who have certain mindsets that everyone's out to get them or there's not enough for them. And I've noticed that when that happens, they try to do more or they get kind of nasty, so to speak, and a bit selfish, a lot selfish. And they just do certain things and it just, for me, it just repels me from them. But what I notice is that those people who have the opposite, where they think, there's more than enough room for me. There's more than enough for me and everyone. They usually always get what they need and then some and have extra versus those who always have to fight for it because they think that there's not enough for them. So there's different like mindsets that you have to be aware of. Like you have to really sit back and ask yourself, what is your mindset with certain things? And you'll find that if you just look around the people again that you associate with, because that's a big factor in connecting with people, those you associate with, look around and see what their mindsets is and see if you have, common ones as well. And if you do you like that? Then that's okay. And if you don't, then you need to change your mindsets. I'm going to give you a few tools like at the end of this to help you with that instead of me just saying this. So I got you guys. I'm not going to tell you something to make you be aware and then you don't know what the heck, to do about it. The next thing is your values, the things that you value the most. And you'll find that there's just this amazing bond when you have people who share the same values as you. Some of my values is, family, those that I love. Also, one of my biggest values is myself in the sense of I value the heck out of myself. And that is not a negative thing. That's just very a confident thing and a loving thing for myself, because without you, you can't really do nothing else for anybody or yourself. And one of those things that since I value myself, I like to take care of myself, be it how I eat, which is my health. That's one of the things I value, be it peace of mind, things that I need to do for myself, time that I need to take for myself, and just other stuff. I value just like people. I just really value like success with people. Like when people are just succeeding, I value that. And there's just lots of different values. I can go on and on and on, but pay attention to those that when you connect with, if you share the same values, those are things that you can, start a connection with and build upon in many different areas. There's just this bond, this communication that just happens when you just meet those people. And so with some of those values, there's things that you can add, to your values, and you can meet people or know someone who you probably may not be that close with, but just by observing, you can tell certain things that they value the most. And if you want to, add a certain value, you can ask them like, hey, why do you value education so much? Like, I see you're big on education. Anything else you don't really care for, but education, like why? And they may give you an amazing story and you're like, I never thought of that. So that's another part of yourself. You're going to see how I'm going to bring all this together. And then the next thing is your struggles. I don't know if anyone else notices this. I'm pretty sure they do, but I'm just speaking on it. But it's something about your struggles that it really connects you with a lot of people unknowingly. And what I mean by that is some of the struggles. I just talked with a friend last night, and he's growing, and it made me super excited because it just reminded me of some of the struggles that I went through early in my journey. But one of the struggles that I went through was just this whole struggle between what the world wanted me to do and what I know was calling me. And it was just this battle of just society or, what's calling to me and stuff like that. And I noticed that in that struggle, I got connected with so many people who were going through the same type of struggle, maybe different factors, but it was the same struggle nonetheless. Like this battle, do I choose this or do I choose that? And if I choose that, how do I know it's going to support me? And it's just this, I've noticed that every different struggle that I've had in my life, it got me connected with a lot of different people who share the same. But how do I know this? Is when you get close enough with people that you connect with, you guys start talking about stuff that's going on in your life. And it's just this amazing bond that happens when someone is saying the exact things that you're going through. And you're like, oh my gosh, I was or am going through the exact same thing. And as you guys talk, there's just this, it's just like some type of peace that comes like in that moment, and you guys start to figuring stuff out, or it's just this feeling that it feels good to know that there's someone else who's like struggling with you, but you guys are trying to get through it together. Like you're not alone. And it just helps you connect with those people just around you, and you would be surprised. Like, you may meet some new people that just come in your life while you're just going through all types of hell around you, and you just be very surprised the people that come into your life. It's something that's just I've noticed that, and every single time I meet new people, every time, like right after I just got over a struggle, boom, someone new comes into my life. And then we talk and they say, yeah, man, one of the things that I struggled with is, here we go. There was lots of things that I was chasing that I thought was for me, but it never was. And it just kind of went downhill. And I would try different things, and it just put me in this position where I just got, kind of fed up, and I just didn't want to do nothing no more. And then now I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to do. And they'll say something very similar, like, I'm trying to figure out what my gift is and how to use that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, I went through the exact same thing, and I tell them, oh, I watched this video, and they're like, oh my gosh, I seen that same video too. And it's just like, that connection just comes back, and it's just like, wow, you just made a new friend, and you guys just talk. And that's just something I've noticed. Like, you'll be very surprised. Your struggles will connect you with people. Now, bringing this all together, if you adjust these parts of you to the better version of yourself that lies deep inside, you'll attract and connect with people on that same energy. So bringing this all back is, if you adjust your attitude to, for example, you may know that you are really amazing inside. You know how that is described. If you know for that to come into form, that part of you to come into form, and okay, your attitude may need to be a hell of a lot better, or adjust it just a little bit, adjust it according to that vision that you have of yourself. Boom. If your attitude is A-okay, you can knock that out. Now, your income. If you feel as though like you just are a millionaire, like inside, then you don't need to do some millionaire stuff and start, learning or get associated with those who are. Or research. There's different ways you can do, like mindsets, different stuff with that, that's how you feel. Or opposite end. Some of you guys may feel like, I don't want nothing to do with money. I just want to live my life and, enjoy and be happy and be out in nature. Boom. Okay. Find someone who is or who knows someone, ask them what they did, blah, 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 and get connected. Get closer to that version of yourself that you see. Again, mindset. If you know your mindset is good, then okay, you're good. If okay, my mindset really needs to change because I'm noticing a lot of stuff around the people I'm around, you need to find, there's someone, you'll find someone, or even if it's on social media, you can watch how they talk or what they do. You'll find someone, if you really want to get it done, you'll find somebody who has a mindset that you want. Get around them. Your values, again, like I said earlier, if you know your values are great, then you're fine. If you want to add more values, look at those who have them. Talk to them about it. Your struggles, you're going to have those struggles. Those new people that you meet and you talk to, ask them how they're getting through it. Or those that have said something about it and they got through it, talk to them. Ask them how they got through it. You'll be very surprised. Another thing. Now, some of you guys don't like to read, but reading has really changed my life. Like right after college, because after that you don't want to read anymore. But I like a lot of self-help books because it just makes me aware of myself. But this will definitely help you as far as mindset and connecting with people. So 2 of the books that I've read in the past that are just amazing was Dynamic People Skills by Dexter Yeager. That helped me a lot. That challenged me as a person as far as just like how I was, how I treated people, how I gave a lot of power to people. And, that wasn't the case. It was like stuff that I needed to do and I needed to get, act right and get better. Another good book was like the first book my mentor gave me is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And that's a really, really good book. That talks about a lot as far as like mindset and just thinking. Those are some really good books to read. So something that you can, stuff that I've talked about in this podcast so far, something that you can read and actively follow steps and do and learn. And it's just deeper and it'll definitely help you out. That's a really good book. I even go through that book sometimes because I just feel like, my people skills could be a hell of a lot better. That's just me. I always like to grow and improve. So one last thing is you'll always be working and changing to achieve a better version of yourself. And because of that, you'll always be changing those you associate yourself with. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a sign of growth, diversity, and change. So I wanted to share that one last thing with you, because you're going to find as you grow, people around you are going to grow with you, or your association is going to change. That's not a bad thing. So that's just something to be aware of, because I know some of us have a little hiccup there when we feel like, oh my gosh, we're growing, but our friends that we've been friends with for a while isn't kind of there yet. And that's okay. Love them. And hopefully they'll catch up. But maybe you need to be the one that, grows, and they see that. And there's someone very close to them they see is growing, and you may be that spark for them to do it. So that being said, you guys have a fantastic day. I will talk to you all, some of you, very soon. And there is a very special surprise. I may have a special episode come out the same week, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. But this episode is going to be a bit direct, a bit different. So look out for that. And that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday or whatever day you're listening to this. Again, you guys are amazing. I always like to speak good things over the people who are connecting to the podcast. I love you all. I hope that everything that you are wishing for or praying for or asking for comes your way, and much better. You guys are phenomenal. You're growing. You're changing. And honestly, this is just a good time to be in the world, because you get to create, that person that you are. And life is just amazing. So that being said, I will talk to you all soon. Later.